Hey guys, welcome back to another Bible in the Backyard episode. I'm actually on my front porch, so it's not the backyard. I'm on my front porch in the swing, and here we go. We are doing our Luke series. So this is chapter 6, starting with verse 1. And yes, I am reading from the King James Version. You'll see me get tongue-tied. Hopefully I can make it more understandable for you as I read this. I know the King James Version isn't always easy to understand. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can bless you in some way today. So here we go. I'm kind of reading. I'm going to leave my Bible here. So let's get started. And it came to pass on the second Sabbath after the first, that he went through the cornfields. And his disciples plucked up the ears of corn and did eat, rubbing them in their hands. And certain of the Pharisees said unto them, Why do ye that which is not lawful to do on the Sabbath? And Jesus answering them said, Have ye not read so much as this, what David did, when himself was a hungered, and when they were with him? How, when he went to the house of God, and did take and eat the showbread, and gave also to them that were with him, which is not lawful to eat, but for the priest alone? And he said unto them, that the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. And it came to pass on also another Sabbath, that he entered into the synagogue, and taught that there was a man whose right hand was withered. And the scribes and Pharisees watched him, whether he would heal on the Sabbath day, they might find an accusation against him. But Jesus knew their thoughts, and said to the man which had the withered hand, Rise up and stand forth in the midst. And he arose and stood forth. Then Jesus said unto them, I will ask you one thing. Is it lawful on the Sabbath days to do good or to do evil, to save life or to destroy it? And looking around about upon them all, he said unto the man, Stretch forth thine hand. And he did so, and his hand was restored, whole as the other. And they were filled with madness, and communed with one another what they might do to Jesus. So, backing up, these Pharisees at this point in time, they know the stories of Moses, they know the stories of David, they know the stories of Noah and of Daniel and of all these prophets that are in the Old Testament. All these amazing things that's happened because of God. And here this person is, whose name is Jesus, who is doing all these miracles, and they're like, no, wait, like, we can't do those things, and our priests can't do those things. So how come you are? And they were maddened. And so even in the 6th chapter, even in the 5th chapter, they were questioning Jesus. They weren't agreeing with him. They saw the dissonance, and they wanted to distance themselves between Jesus and everybody else, and they wanted to bring everybody else along with them. So let's see what happens in chapter 6. So verse 12, And it came to pass in those days that he went out into the mountain to pray, and continued all night in prayer to God. And when it was day, he called unto them his disciples, and of them he chose 12, whom he also named apostles, Simon, whom he also named Peter, and Andrew his brother, James, and John, Philip, and Bartholomew, Matthew and Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, and Simon called Zelotes, and Judas the brother of James, and Judas Iscariot, which was also the traitor. And he came down with them, and stood in the plain in the company of his disciples, and a great multitude of people out of all Judea and Jerusalem, and from the seacoast of Tyre and Sidon, which came to hear him, and to heal and to be healed of their diseases. And they that were vexed with an unclean spirit, and they were healed. And the whole multitude sought to touch him, for there went out virtue out of him. So something different was coming out of Jesus than what they have seen and felt in the past. This virtue is what even we're healed by. This virtue was an unseen thing. This virtue was basically his soul. It could be, possibly. This virtue, this goodness was coming out of Jesus, and it healed them all. And he lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said, this is verse 20, "Blessed be ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. Blessed ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. Blessed ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice in that day, and leap for joy. For behold, your reward is great in heaven, for in the like manner did their fathers unto prophets. But woe unto you that are full." Verse 24. "But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. But I say unto you which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you. Bless them that curse you, and pray for them that which despitefully use you. And unto them that smitteth thee on the one cheek offer also the other, and him that taketh away thy cloak forbid not take thy coat also. Give to every man that asketh of thee, and of him that taketh away thy goods ask them not again. And as ye would that men should do unto you, do ye also to them likewise. For if ye love them which love you, what thank have ye? For sinners also love those that love them. And if ye do good to them which do good to you, what thank have ye? For sinners also do even the same. And if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thank have ye? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much again. But love your enemies, and do good, and lend, hoping for nothing again, and your reward shall be great. And ye shall be the children of the highest, for he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil. Be ye therefore merciful, as your Father is also merciful." This is interesting, especially in today's age, because I'm putting myself in this too. I'm not separating myself from anybody here. We say, oh, he's being snotty to me, so I'm going to be snotty back, and I'm not going to listen or I'm not going to help him out because he didn't help me, and he's being mean and he's being selfish, so why can't I be selfish? It's dangerous to think that way. It's dangerous to think that way because it puts us in a place of pettiness. It puts us in a place of greed, and it puts us in a place where our hearts are tainted. And I'm not saying that I am as guilty as anybody else is of this. And it's interesting because it says, "Unto him that smiteth thee on one cheek, offer also the other." Okay, hit me again. Okay. And in this, I don't feel like he's saying retaliate. He's not saying hit back. He's not saying this, that, and the other. He's saying, okay. In those. But he's also saying in 32 through 36, he's like, people want to surround themselves with people that make them feel good. People that are comforting to them, people that are this, people that are that, and there's no conflict, there's no growth that's happening. And that's really interesting because he's like, yeah, it's easy to love somebody that loves you. But is it easy to love somebody that's not loving you and that hates you? Is it easy to do that? It's not. It's not at all. Is it easy to do good to them that do good to you? Yeah, it's super easy because you like them. You're like, of course, yeah. Da 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 da. But if people continually do bad things to you, you're like, I don't want to help you out because guess what? You're just going to hurt me. Or hurt people that are around me. Like, it's so easy to fall into that. Be like, no. So let's continue. This chapter's not over yet. Verse 37, judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. Give, and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down and shaken together, and running over, shall men give unto your bosom. For with the same measure that ye mete withal, it shall be measured to you again. And he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? Shall they not both fall into the ditch? The disciple is not above his master, but every one that is perfect shall be as his master. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eyes, but perceiveth not the beam that is in thine own eye? Either how canst thou say to thy brother, Brother, let me pull out the mote that is in thine eye, when thou thyself beholdest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, cast out the first beam out of thine own eye, and then shall ye see clearly to pull out the mote that is in the brother's eye. So basically he's saying, try not to be a hypocrite. He's saying, you have to look at yourself and look at yourself before you can even begin to help somebody else. Or to say, hey, fix that before you can even help fix somebody else. Verse 43, For a good tree bringeth not forth corrupt fruit, neither do a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. For every tree is known by his own fruit. For thorns men do not gather figs, nor a bramble bush gather their grapes. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the Father in his mouth, abundance of heart in his mouth speaketh. And why call ye me, Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and doeth them, I will show you to whom he is like. He is like a man which built a house and digged deep and laid the foundation on a rock, and when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently on the house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. It was unmovable. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man without a foundation, built a house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. There's so much in chapter 6, and I can't even begin to dissect it because I don't even know where to start. Build a firm foundation. So that's even saying, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Build a strong foundation in the Lord, and build a strong foundation of where you stand and where you want to be, and you're not going to be moved. You're going to get tried. That river is going to come, and it's going to try to knock you down. But if you're steady, and you know your values, and you know where you stand in Christ, and you know that you're one of his, it's going to be hard to move you. It's going to be extremely hard to move you. So, that's chapter 6. And we will see what happens next in chapter 7. See ya.